If you're using the author bio feature in Squarespace, you can have an image, a name, and a little description display for the author of a blog post on every blog post that they've written. But we can't really do a lot to customize the way that looks in the Squarespace editor, but we can with code. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you how to do in this tutorial. I'm Becca from Inside the Square, and I'm about to share with you my favorite codes for modifying the author bio on a Squarespace blog. We'll add a background color, we'll change the name a little bit, we'll even turn an active link into a button. I've got lots of fun stuff to share with you. All of these codes are available for free on my blog at insidethesquare.co. But in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to use these codes and how to make them uniquely yours. So without further ado, I'll share my screen and we can get started. Here we are inside Squarespace looking at an individual blog post, and you can see the author bio at the bottom of the blog post. Inside the settings for my website, under permissions and ownership, this is where you add a different author bio. Here we can click on my bio and you'll see the image, the display name, the profile name, and the actual text. I want you to notice I have a link here inside the bio text, not a link on the profile. This is because I wanted to customize the text that it says. Here it says connect with me on LinkedIn. I thought that was better to display than the actual URL itself, so that's why I listed it this way. And again, you'll find this inside the permissions and ownership setting. Let's go ahead and head back to the blog post here because this is what we'll be customizing with code. On the left-hand side of my screen, I'm going to select Pages, then Custom Code, then Custom CSS. If your menu doesn't look like mine, press the / key on your keyboard and search for your CSS panel so you can navigate there directly. Now that we're here, I'll zoom in on the code and let's leave a little note for ourselves that we're about to change the author bio background. There we go. I'll paste the selector we're going to use and open up a curly bracket, and let's go ahead and give it a solid background color. Let's say background, and I'll use a light shade of blue that I like, and here we go. We now have a background for just that part of our blog post. But do you notice how the text and the image are right up against the edge of that background? I'm not a fan of that look, so I'm going to add some padding. Let's add a semicolon, and we'll enter a new line that says padding. How about 16px? There we go. Now it pulls the content away from the edges. I'm a big fan of rounded corners in my website design, so if you design like I do, let's add a semicolon and give it a border radius. And just for fun, why don't we throw in a box shadow too? There we go. Now our author bio has a background, it has curved corners, it's lifting off the page, but there's a lot more that we can do. The next code that I love to add changes this title right here. My name is the exact same font family and size as the bio itself, so it doesn't really look that different, and I'd like to make it stand out on the page. So let's go ahead and make a new label for our code, and we'll add .author-name and open up a curly bracket. I'll start with the font size. 24px is a little bit larger than the text, and I like that style, but you can customize this value to any value you want it to be. I also want to mention that I had to add !important. Author name already has a font size, so we need to tell the computer browser that our code is the important code, so we add !important after the value. Maybe you want to make it bold, or a different font family, or even a completely different color. You can add any font or text property you want to author name, and that will change just the author name here inside this author bio on the blog post. The other part of this author bio that I love to customize is the actual link that we added to the bio. I want this to look like a button. So let's make a new note that that's what we're about to change, and we'll use the code name author-bio A. This A stands for active link. So now we can customize the active link inside this bio, which happens to say connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll give it a solid background color. And just like we saw before, the text will run right up to the edge of that background. So let's add some padding here. And we'll go ahead and give it a border so it looks more like a button. This is all super customizable, but I like this style a lot more. Now, one of my favorite things to do with buttons is to add a hover effect. So let's go ahead and add that code together. I'm going to repeat this exact same code, author bio A, and then I'll add the colon symbol followed by the word hover. Let's change the background color and the font color on a hover. Background is background color, and color is the color of the characters. And now we can see we have a hover effect for this button that we just created for the active link inside our author bio. Now that we've added all of these codes, I'm going to select Save, and let's take a quick peek at the mobile version of our website. All of the codes will work on mobile as well, but I want to make sure that button isn't too long. It doesn't need to be on 2 lines, and it still looks great. Perfect. So here's what we did today. We added a background to our author bio. We gave it a solid background color. We added some padding to pull the text away from the edges and this image as well. We gave it a border radius, which rounded the corners, and then a box shadow to lift it off the page just a little bit. After that, we adjusted the author bio name. We made the font size larger and changed the color, but you can do a lot more here. Changing the font weight, the font family, lots of customizations, and I'll include links underneath this video for more resources if you'd like to learn more about customizing text. Last but not least, we changed that author bio link to become a button. We gave it a background color, some padding, and a border, and then on a hover, we told the computer browser to show a different background color and a different font color, so we can see that this button is definitely a clickable link. Underneath this video, you'll find a link to my original blog post where you can copy and paste those codes directly into your own Squarespace website. Just make sure that you update the important parts of these codes like the colors so they match the unique style of your own website design. I'm Becca from Inside the Square, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions about Squarespace, let me know in the comments. I'd love to help. Thank you so much for watching, and most importantly, have fun with your Squarespace website. Bye for now. To learn more about creative ways that you can make Squarespace uniquely yours, visit InsideTheSquare.co. That's InsideTheSquare.co.